Welcome to the Nevada Real Estate Post. I'm your host, Jeff. Hey, it looks like history's repeating itself all over again. So everyone out there, get ready! Okay, some of you may have seen, there's articles going around out there that are showing that to get a loan right now that's backed by Fannie or Freddie, if you put more money down and have better credit, you're going to get hit with higher fees. Now, if you put less money down and have just really crappy credit, well, you're going to get better rates and better fees. That's what they're doing right now. That's what Fannie and Freddie's doing. Well, let's go back. Let's look at history, because some of us are old enough here. We can remember that crash that happened. You know, that one about 2007, 8. Banks were going belly up. Our homes went down to nothing. People were out of work. The big crash. I mean, some of the younger people listening to this may not remember that, but we do. We remember how bad that crash was and what led up to that crash. Well, here's a statistic I want everybody to look at. Here it is on the screen. As you can see, we saw from around 1994 to that 206 mark, 205, 206, we saw, homes went crazy. Everybody was buying houses. That was all the talk, the rage of the town. How many homes do you own? I've got 10. I've got 5. I've made $100,000 on this house in just 1 month. You remember all that? Some of us do, right? Well, what caused some of this? Well, prior to that, if we look at this graph going way, way back, all the way back to 65, we can see the home ownership rate. Now, what this is the percentage of people that own a home in America. So the number of people that actually own one. And this is from the Federal Reserve, by the way. So that's where the information comes from. We can see that from 1965 through 1995, so about a 30-year range. The market range, from that 62, 63% all the way up to 65%, somewhere in there. That's the range where we should be. That's a healthy market, right? That's where we are. Well, we look in 1994, we see this thing spike. It just starts a spike year after year after year after year and continues to go up. Well, what caused this? Well, one of the big reasons was the availability of money in subprime loans. There wasn't that many of them out there prior to that. Well, all of a sudden you have these subprime loans, people that it was too easy to get a loan. Some of us remember that. I mean, basically all you had to do was fog a mirror and they got you a loan for a house. 80-20 loans. You didn't even have to put any money down and you're just buying a home. Here's my $1,000 deposit. The seller pays their closing cost. You get your money back at the end. You walk into a home for nothing. Zero, nothing. You just walk into a house. And, just hope you can make the payment, I guess. So, but that's what happened. Well, then we saw this subprime market continue to expand and grow and grow and grow until it collapsed. And it collapsed big time. And we all remember this. Well, look at what we're doing again. Here we are again, making it easier to give loans to people who probably shouldn't get a loan. They're renters. Some people are just destined to be a renter for life. It's just the way they are. They're better off being a renter. They don't manage money well. Maybe they weren't taught. Whatever the circumstances may be, some people, as you know, you've got friends, I'm sure, that just are not good at managing money and paying their bills. But yet we just want to give these people money to buy a home now, something that has the ability to crash the market like it did in the past. Here we go again. But here's another thing with this. To pay for some of this, they're going to now charge people that you've done well with your credit, you've worked hard to get it up there, you've saved the money for a down payment, but you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it and make it easier for somebody else. Is this right? I personally don't think so. So my predictions, because what they're doing right now, they're making it easier. Because if you look at this graph, we see that we're at the top right now of where we basically should be in home ownership rate. We're at the top. And as we see, I'm sure you've heard it, people have been talking about the market's going to crash, the market's going to crash, the market's going to crash. Well, they're trying to prolong this apparently and keep that from happening, which is what happened in the past. They just keep it going. The government artificially feeds the market, and then boom, you have a bigger crash. So anyway, I predict that we're probably going to see some of those 80-20 loans come back. I've already hearing about loans that are zero down loans. these incentives that are all coming out to people that to get into houses. Who makes the money on this? Well, the big banks do. Of course they do. The big banks are going to make all the money off of this. The common person, you and I, we always pay the debt. That's what happened in the end. That's what happened last year or last time also when it crashed. I'd love to know your thoughts on this and what you think. I don't think the market's going to crash if this is what the government's going to artificially do to prop it up, especially with next year being a major election year. This administration is going to do whatever it can to keep the market from crashing. I mean, if you're a politician, either side, doesn't matter. Whichever side you're on, conservative or liberal, if you're in power now, you're going to do what it takes to actually keep your power, right? I mean, that's what they're doing. So if the market crashes, they're dead in the water. Nobody's going to vote for any of them. It's just kind of the way it works. That's how people think. We know this. So again, I'd love to know your comments. I'd love to know what you think of this. If you got any more details on this, any more thoughts on it, leave me a comment. Give me a call. I'd appreciate sitting there talking to you. If you are looking at buying or selling, I mean, this is probably where we're going just because the government's already leading into that. So maybe it kind of gives you something something to think about. So my name's Jeff. I'm with Signature. Number is right here. Everyone out there, make it a great day.